today's gonna be like the best day ever. We're filming back-to-back Supermotos and dual sports, I wanna say that. But we're gonna film a bunch of bikes, we're gonna jump on them, we're gonna ride them, go back-to-back. Now my excuse for doing this is that I'm bringing you people good information about these bikes in a different way that's ever been done. No one's ever had these 4 bikes together and just hopped on them back-to-back like we're doing. That's how I'm gonna try to sell it. The reality is I just wanted to ride all these bikes, and you guys, by subscribing and watching these videos, are giving me a chance to do it. So thanks for being my excuse, YouTube. Yeah, today's gonna be a really good day. Now let's hop onto the 650 and get started. So thanks to my good friends, we are gonna be reviewing a 2000, I'm gonna get the years wrong, but we're gonna review a 2011 Suzuki DRZ 650S, I wanna say. Now I know they had the DRZ, or DRZ 50L, I think that's what we're riding. It's a DRZ 650. We're gonna review one of those. We're gonna review a Kawasaki KLX 250 that you may have seen previously on the channel, but when we reviewed it the first time, I did not have the chance to review it back to back against other bikes. And then we are gonna review a 2009 Yamaha YZ250 WR something. Here's the thing with Supermotos. The acronyms, the names, they get a little confusing after a while. It's hard to keep up and my brain is small. So we've got the 650, the 250 Kawasaki, the 250 Yamaha, and then we also, to just round things out and make it all well, make everything good, we have a Honda 250 because it just ain't right without a Honda. Okay, so first things first. The Suzuki 650. Now, if you've been thinking about like an on-road, off-road Suzuki, you've probably debated the DRZ 400 and the Suzuki 650. They're both pretty well-known bikes. They've both been made for a really long time. Now, compared to the DRZ 400, this is definitely a bit more on the off-road side, where you could probably say the DRZ 400 is a heavily street bike. This one's got the knobbier tires, it's got the bigger suspension, it's definitely taller. I got to imagine it has more suspension travel. So this is the 650. Around town, I've been on it for a few minutes. I can tell you I can't really tell a difference between this and the DRZ 400 other than just the size. It's just bigger. Now it's 250 cc's bigger, so I'm sure once you get into it and start playing with it, it's gonna feel a whole lot bigger. It's gonna feel much more comfortable on the interstate. It's gonna feel much more comfortable passing people and doing all that type of like typical riding stuff. Handling wise, I would say unless you're riding super aggressively, you're not gonna notice that it's a little bit less street oriented than the DRZ 400, but nonetheless, this is definitely of the two the more off-road. Like you're probably gonna see more of these on trails than you are DRZ 400s. So after I get off of this bike, you're gonna see me on the Yamaha, the Kawasaki, and the Honda. And to like give some context to what we're doing here, we're gonna use Jake Points. Now, Jake Points is a system I've used for years because my name's Jake and I award Jake Points. So we're gonna do it on a few different categories. So let's go comfortability. That's not how you say it, but you know what I'm saying. How comfortable is the bike? This bike gets 8 out of 10 Jake Points. The seat is a little hard and narrow, but that's all Superbike or all Supermotos are gonna be a little bit narrow. They're built on dirt bikes, so that's, you know, kind of how they are. So let's call it a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 on the comfortability scale. As far as friendliness, this bike gets a 10 out of 10. I'm telling you, Supermotos are so damn easy to ride. You don't even know. These bikes are like the opposite of a street bike. For everything that a street bike is terrifying, these things are just easy and comfortable and relaxed. So 10 out of 10 drivability wise. Acceleration, for a Supermoto, I would give it an 8 out of 10. It's not noticeably faster than the DRZ 400, but I can tell you right now, if we were out on the interstate or we were out at highway speeds, it would feel much more well prepared for things above 70 miles an hour. Now, how do the other bikes stack up? Let's see.
Put an RHD lever on it. You're gonna like that lever.
Okay, so from the 650 to the 250, let's do this. Kawasaki, 2009 Kawasaki KLX 250 SF. This is the factory Supermoto for all you bike shoppers out there. Okay, so we've already ridden this one, but I had to bring it back. I had to compare it to the others. You know what? The Kawasaki KLX 250 SF, this is the same one we reviewed before. This is the bike that sold me on Supermotos. Like, I rode this and I told my buddy who owns it, I said, I get it, dude. I get it. I get the Supermoto thing. And he's like, right, I told you. Do you? you feel the FMF exhaust? Oh. So, specs on this bike, it is a single cylinder 250cc bike, brand new. These run about $6,000, give or take. This one has had all types of custom exhaust and graphics and all this type of cool stuff on it. I mean, what can you say about it? It's a great bike for what you get. Let's just say Jake point wise, this is pretty much an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, all the way across the board. And if you haven't picked up on it already, the Jake point system is really arbitrary. It doesn't actually mean anything. I'm just making this video for fun because it gives me an excuse to ride a bunch of different Supermotos. Compared to the DRZ 650 that we just got off of, the KLX, even though it's just a 250, accelerates really damn hard. Like, whereas the DRZ feels kind of laid back, even though it's a 650. The KLX 250 is really ready to go. It's ready to rev, and I'm not saying it's going to beat it past a certain speed. Like, it's probably not faster on the highway, but this KLX 250, for being a 250 and just compared to any of the other Supermotos we're riding today, this thing rips. If you're a guy and you want to get into a bike that's not going to kill you, but reasonably priced and still accelerates pretty well, the KLX 250 is one to think about. It does everything. It does everything you'd want a motorcycle to do, but it's still going to get 50, 60 miles to the gallon. It's still fun. It's plenty quick. That's a big misconception about these bikes, is that, oh, it's a 250, it's going to be slow. It's not slow. You're slow. These bikes are pretty damn quick. They do really well. Like I'm telling you, this damn bike accelerates really well. Like, let's compare this right now. 29 out of 30 Jake points. This thing accelerates. It's cheap, and yeah, I'm biased because I already loved it before the review started, but it's on my channel, so I can say whatever I want, and these bikes are sick, and this one looks so good. Oh, and it sounds the business. I don't know what the other bikes would sound like yet because I haven't ridden them yet, but I'm telling you, the KLX 250 SF, the 09, the factory Supermoto, if you can find somebody willing to let go of a good one, and I'm sure you can if you look hard enough, this might be the winner today. We'll see. We haven't ridden the other bikes yet. I think the Yamaha is coming up next. We'll have to see. But this KLX, it might take it. It might take it. It also helps that the dude that organized this whole video is the owner of this bike. So, you know, I mean, in full transparency, there's that. Oh, that's right. I'm like, wait a minute. All the what?
Safety switching.
Oh, okay, no worries. All right, here we are, 2011 Yamaha WR 250. Never ridden one of these babies. Woo, she's loud. So before I review this bike real quick, and these are all back-to-back reviews, we're doing it real quick today. We're doing it shotgun style. Nobody's ever done a Supermoto review like this. The WR 250, this one is a 2011, belongs to a friend of mine. I haven't known him that long, but when the chance came up for me to ride it, dude, he jumped at the chance. He drove about 30 minutes for me to be able to ride it, so big shout out to him. Thank you for letting me ride your baby. He's owned it for, like, I don't know, 5 minutes, and he's just like, yeah, you can ride it. So, Yamaha 250, I think hands down, these are one of the best looking Supermotos, period. Like the Yamaha Supermotos, they look right. They just look right. They look so goddamn good. The Yamaha Supermotos, they got the looks for sure. As far as riding it goes, I can already tell you, and this might be unique to this bike, it is geared a lot shorter than the Kawasaki or the DRZ. So the KLX 250 and the DRZ 650 that we just got off of, this one out of the three so far feels like it is easily geared the shortest. Like, look at that. Oh, it sounds good. All right, so real quick, before I forget, I've been on it for about 2 minutes. Let's do the real quick Jake point breakdown. Comfortability-wise, it's actually got a bit wider seat than the DRZ, which is surprising. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 comfortability-wise. It's shorter, but it's wider, and the seat is actually pretty nice. The stance is right. The foot pegs are right. Acceleration-wise, it helps that it's geared so short. I can confidently say the DRZ 650 is probably better on the top end, and this is probably a little bit slower than the KLX 250 on the low end, but it's also geared differently. I don't believe that this is geared factory, so the gears are so short. I mean, I'm in third by like 25-30 miles an hour, but I'm also not revving this bike out to redline because it's not my bike, and you guys know I don't do that. So comfortability wise, 9 out of 10. Acceleration, let's call it a 7 out of 10 because it's geared weird, and I don't really know if it's factory or if maybe it's just making a little bit less power than the KLX, and I'm sure some Yamaha fanboy is going to get super pissed off about that, but that's what the internet's for, is getting pissed off. So let's call it a 7 out of 10 on the acceleration points. And then drivability wise, Jake points for drivability, I'm going to call it a solid 9 out of 10, but I think that's going to be kind of a recurring theme with all these Supermotos. Just because they're all easy to ride. Like, I'm yet to ride the one that makes me like second guess myself. You know what I mean? Like, they're all just big teddy bears. They're all just, I mean, they're dirt bikes, dude. They're dirt bikes on the street. Like, what could you possibly expect? It's funny that I keep saying Supermotos are easy to ride because actually dirt bikes, like real dirt bikes, are terrifying. They are so sketchy. Of course, depending on the one you get, but for real, I kind of hate dirt bikes. Like, dirt bikes make me nervous, but Supermotos, they're teddy bears. I just want to hug every Supermoto I see. I just want to be like, aw, you're so friendly. Let me ride you. So as far as the WR250, the 2011, the Yamaha, again, I would say it's maybe a little bit friendlier of a first bike than even the KLX, because like I said, the KLX is it feels quicker in the low gears. It just does. And maybe that's unique to the two that I'm riding today. I'm willing to concede that. Maybe it's an even better first bike than the KLX 250. It's probably almost for certain. How's that for being sure of myself? So far, 3 out of 4, I would say DRZ, most comfortable for long trips because it's the biggest and has the most power. This one, probably the most comfortable for around town. KLX 250, gotta give it the quickest. I gotta say, it feels the rowdiest. Like, out of all of them, the KLX 250 SF, it feels it's just a bit stronger in the low gears. It feels like it wants to go and stop and turn just a little bit harder than the others. Okay, so last but certainly not least is the 2015 CRF 250. What does this thing say? CRF 250. Now, apparently, I just got corrected because I'm an idiot. I've been calling the DRZ 650 and the CRF 250 Supermotos. Technically, they are dual sports. So Supermotos have street tires, dual sports are knobby. So for all you people watching this, getting all pissed off, the 650 is not a Supermoto. It's not a Supermoto. I'm telling you, it's not a Supermoto. Okay, I got it. Calm down. Okay, so right away, 30 seconds into riding this bike, I can tell you the Honda 250 is without a doubt the most mellow of all three. It takes that really mellow acceleration and clutch and everything else. All the controls are super relaxed from the 650, but it dials back the power even further. Not to say that it's slow, but I've been talking about how easy these bikes are to ride, and this is obviously a dual sport. It's not a Supermoto. I got it, internet. Jesus. This is hands down the most chill, the most relaxed, the most rider friendly. I would not hesitate for 1 second to tell somebody who is interested in getting their first motorcycle, like, check out the CRF 250. So been on it all of 45 seconds, and let's see how she does. doing, baby? Let's get to know each other. How you doing? She does really well on knobby tires. It doesn't feel knobby. They don't feel like super aggressive at all. Suspension is a little bit bumpier than the other two. The KLX and the Yamaha feel a little bit more relaxed in the suspension, a little bit more forgiving. This feels like it's probably dialed in a bit more for off-road, which if you look at all the bikes, it's definitely true. This and the 650 are technically dual sports, like I said. So they're going to be probably a little bouncier, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know that much about suspension, apparently. Yeah, this is super mellow. This is like something your mom could drive to the grocery store, but if you want to take it out and rip on it, it'll do that too. It's super cool. I really dig this bike. Like you can tell, I've actually calmed down since I've got on it. It's very relaxing. Like, I gotta say, if pleasantness was like in the Jake Point system that we've been using so far, this bike would hands down win the most pleasant. Okay, so roll onto it, and then I engine brake, and it just kind of real calm, just kind of comes down. It's nice and chill. There's no drama. There's no rattles. There's no noise. It's just nice. I've been using these people's driveway to turn around on all these bikes, and they're gonna wonder what the hell is going on. Jake Point wise, let's break it down into the stupid system of Jake Points. So comfortability wise, 10 out of 10. Super comfortable, seats nice and wide, nice and padded for my big old butt. Pegs are in a good position. The bars are really nice and wide for a 250. So comfortability wise, 10 out of 10. You could totally ride this bike for as long as you wanted to ride it. Acceleration wise, it probably comes in last. Like, it's a dual sport. It's not meant to be rowdy. It's not a stunt bike. It's just meant for really riding on or off road. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 on the acceleration, because if you're looking for something to, like, you know, hashtag stunt life, this might not be it. Or maybe with the sprocket. That's the other thing. I did find out after getting off the Yamaha is sprocketed. So whatever that's worth, that's important to know too. So acceleration, probably going to lose in a drag race to the others. But drivability wise, 10 out of 10, baby. Ooh, this is the motorcycle equivalent of a hammock and a cold beer. This thing is so damn friendly. And I don't want you to think that it's like boring or slow. Like, this is awesome. It's a 250. They're super fun. They're all super fun. Okay, so to kind of wrap up for the day, my GoPro went dead because we had so much footage and we were actually shooting for so long that I just flat out ran out of memory. So, to wrap up for the day, I want to thank all the dudes that let me ride their bikes, the 650, the Kawasaki, the Yamaha, and the Honda. They were all super fun. Turns out I did not know that much about dual sports and supermotos, so really the video is mostly just about me having fun, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. I will say, for anyone thinking about getting a supermoto or a dual sport, do it. As far as what my favorite bike was, if I was gonna ride across the country and do a whole bunch of trails, it'd be a dead split between the 650 and the Honda. Probably the 650, just because that big CC is gonna be better for the highway. I gotta say, honestly, I'm probably more of a supermoto guy. They're a little more catered to the type of riding that I wanna do. Now, between the two supermotos that we rode, the Yamaha and the KLX that we happened to ride was just super well put together. Like I said, the owner of the Yamaha just got the bikes. The gearing is a little more for the city than it is the highway. So, but again, you're gonna run into a lot of different variations based on the bikes that you find in the real world. So again, this video is disguised as a review, but really it's just me having fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. To Brandon, Landon, and Cody, the guys who let me ride the bikes, I appreciate it. Thank you again. And we'll actually see you soon, because while we had these bikes out, we went ahead and filmed another long ride out to some really cool spots, and that video is gonna be coming out in the next week. So that's the end of it. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on another day with another video at another time. Goodbye, everybody.